About it, and there's special resonance tonight because it's such an occasion, such a huge sporting moment here in New Zealand for Joseph Parker. Everything is being teed up for his coronation. That's forgetting, Barry, about a certain Mexican American in the other corner.
Well, both fighters here trying to make history, so that gives you that extra little percent to want to go out and do that a little bit more and be crowned the heavyweight champion of the world. This is a big feat in itself.
This bout is scheduled for 12 3-minute rounds of professional heavyweight world championship boxing. It is for the WBO heavyweight championship of the world. It is sponsored by Burger King. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the ring with black, green, white, and red trunks. He weighed in at 116 kgs even, which is 255.75 pounds. He hails from Imperial, California, USA, now resides in Mexicali, Baja, California, Mexico. He is the former WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the current NABF Heavyweight Champion. He is ranked number 3 by the WBO, 5th by the IBF, and 6th by the WBC in the world. He is trained by world-renowned boxing coach and trainer Abel Sanchez. He is an undefeated professional fighter with 29 professional fights, 29 wins, 19 by way of KO. Introducing Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner enters the ring wearing black trunks with silver trim. He weighed in 111.9 kgs, which is 241.75 pounds. He hails from South Auckland, New Zealand, representing the beautiful country of Samoa. He is the WBO Oriental Heavyweight Champion. He's the IBF Mandatory Challenger. He is also ranked number 1 in the world by the WBO. He is trained by world-renowned boxing trainer and coach Kevin Barry. He is an undefeated professional fighter with 21 professional fights, 21 wins, 18 big wins coming by way of KO. Introducing Lupe Soliai La'auli Ole Baliatoa, Joseph Parker! Fighters to the center ring, please, for referee Tony Weeks' instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in your dressing room. Okay, the trunk's a little high right here. Right here is okay, anything that's low. Right here is okay, anything that's low. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
One more time, Auckland, New Zealand, make some noise!
Tony Weeks, big fight referee for a massive event in New Zealand. And so much expectation, so much pressure, I suppose, on the shoulders of this young man, Joseph Parker. Not that he looks like he is weighed down by the pressure or expectation. And in a battle of two young, up-and-coming, unbeaten heavyweights, who, Barry, it should be stressed, relatively quick-fisted, and they're settling right down to it.
Well, Ruiz got to try and get close, hasn't he? That's the thing. I think he's got to. He has got the. He doesn't look in the best of shape. He never does. But he has got the quicker feet. That's where that double jab's going to work for him. We've just seen it there. He needs to step in quickly on the jab, get close for that clubbing right hand of his.
Both of them have got good jabs. Both of them relatively quick-fisted for heavyweights. You think Ruiz looks a little fleshy round the midsection. Well, just cast your mind back to his debut. We're so close, within ounces to 300 pounds, and weighed him for this one at 255. That's a bit heavier than the 248 which he weighed in for a trio of fights last year. But since working with Abel Sanchez, he has dropped the poundage and he's retained the speed, and it looks like from the start he's coming here with ambition.
Yes, but I think I like the start from Parker straight away. Ruiz throws the jab, he throws a fast right hand over the top. trying to get his jab into play as well. You know, my only worry about Parker is his feet are not the fastest. He got nice fast hands, the jab nice and fast, but his feet just a little slow.
What he is doing is he's keeping his distance through the first minute and a half, though, so that isn't becoming anything of an issue.
And in the heavyweight division, you know, especially when they're undefeated, you know, and for a title of such magnitude, you know, you're always going to be a little bit cagey. No one's going to want to take too many risks. You talk about power in a heavyweight, everyone will punch. Once you get to a certain weight, everyone's a dangerous puncher.
Absolutely, one punch can do it. That said, Ruiz is more about speed. And you look through his record, he's gone the distance 4 of his last 6, and up against some boxers who you'd perhaps have expected him to make an impression on. Last year he went 8 with Subaru Love, the big lanky Brazilian who was stopped in, 2 by Joshua, 8 by Molina, 10 by Charles Martin. Just some perspective perhaps, even allowing for what these guys can do with one big shot.
Yeah, I think so. When regards to his power, I think he's not the most powerful of heavyweights, but he has, like I said, he's got fast hands. He can hit the target. He clubbed you with that right hand. There's lovely fast hands there, though, from Joseph Parker.
More impressed with Parker's defence, actually, through the first round.
And that's what he needs to do, Parker. Those straight punches, right down the pipe. Just use the jab, do the basics well.
Well, they heard the clapper for 10 seconds. Both of them thought that was the end of the round. There it goes, boys. Now you can stop. And we'll re-engage in a minute's time. What was that start like for you, Barry?
Well, I think it was cage. I think it's what we expected. The Ruiz trying to force the pace a little bit, push the fight to Parker. And I thought Parker cooked quite well. I think he got to establish his jab quite early. He landed with a couple of right hands and sort of kept Ruiz a little bit quiet.
Abel Sanchez in his corner these days as well. It's been a good couple of weeks for Sanchez, and there's Kevin Barry, who has been the trainer for New Zealand heavyweights over the years. He, of course, guiding David Tua to that swashbuckling run that took him to a title challenge against Lennox Lewis all those years ago. What, a decade and a half now? Into the second round. He certainly brought Parker along nicely. I think they've given him the right challenges at the right time. And the Takam fight, I think, was a steep learning curve. Lots of people are saying Takam was the big avoided danger man in the division for those that want to get into the rankings, and he had some worrying moments in that fight, but he came through with flying colours in the end.
He did. I don't think they've come across nicely. They've taken some risks, I think, with Parker. I think they've been very educated with this, but they have. You know, I think, and it's, you know, they put faith in their talent, and they've been proven right. But he is now boxing for the world title against a fast but tremendously out of shape Ruiz. You can't help but not say it, can you?
Basically, what you're saying is, what an opportunity! What an opportunity!
No, this heavyweight, since what's happened with Tyson Fury, this heavyweight division has been blown wide open. You know, we got Anthony Joshua, who's the world champion, fighting again tonight, and then obviously, you know, Parker now looking for stuff, and Deontay Wilder, you know, being the most established champion we have at the minute in the world heavyweight division.
Well, listen, absolutely right. What a difference. You know, we're talking about a year, 13 months ago, Tyson Fury won this title with one of the biggest upsets of the year, and indeed perhaps of the decade, and suddenly the landscape was changed. Remember a year ago, Dillian Whyte rocking Anthony Joshua? Many people said he wasn't ready. Suddenly Klitschko out the picture, Fury temporarily, we hope, out of the picture. This belt just borrowed and lent, he'll be saying, as Parker unleashes a Fury to the midsection of Andy Ruiz. Lands with a left hook, and suddenly these guys are being thrust into the spotlight.
But what's encouraging for the division, all these fighters are in their 20s, and you know, and that's very encouraging, except that David Haye, who's not fighting for world titles yet. Well, they're all sort of, you know, Joshua, Fury, you know, Parker, even Ruiz, they're all in their 20s, so you've got a lot of years there of competitive fights, hopefully.
Been a good couple of weeks for Abel Sanchez as well.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, well done, Andy Ruiz.
Nice.
Done again.
That's when he's good, Ruiz. And chest to chest, he makes space for the shots. There's the fast hands of Ruiz, not quite hit the target clean, but putting Parker under a bit of pressure.
Oh, left hook. Now there's a flurry. Now there's a bit of unease in the defence of Parker. I wondered if Andy Ruiz would do enough throughout this contest to perhaps give himself a chance on the scorecards, but he is putting it in this round too.
No, he is, yeah, especially in this round, of course. Good jab there from Ruiz.
Good round. He played both the American and the Mexican national anthems in the build-up to this one for Ruiz, and he is answering the bugle's call.
But it was a fantastic jab there from Parker to finish the round, but for me, a good round there for Andy Ruiz. He's closing the gap quick enough.
I wonder if he's sparred Golovkin. You wouldn't be surprised with that. That Kazakh menace. There we see that was the one good flurry from Parker, but otherwise it was a big round for Ruiz.
Parker using the ropes there, man. That little exchange. But that's where Ruiz is good. The chest to chest, he makes a little bit of space there with those shorter arms just to get some punches on the target.
And scoring punches, not necessarily big, heavy punches landed.
This is the second attack there, where Parker will fire back, see, so that's also good for him to stop the attack of Ruiz, but also will make it interesting because it'll be a little bit of a free-for-all then when they're close-up, and that's where accidents can happen. Someone can all of a sudden drop.
Into the third round then. Vacant WBO heavyweight title.
He's got to be a little bit more confident with the jab, Parker. Sort of he's tapping out, they're pushing out, trying to find his range. You got to either flick it out or stab it out hard. You've got to commit with it.
Oh, nice. That's two jabs to the body from Ruiz. Now, very much the instruction from Abel Sanchez in between rounds. A good couple of weeks for Sanchez on the road. Shafikov overcoming Comey, didn't he? And Gassiev over Lebedev. To be fair, both of those were pretty much disputed wins, but he's come out on the top side of some close fights, and he's looking to do the same here. You fancy Parker could probably excel in whatever sporting discipline he took to. He's got that sort of physique, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's athletically built. He's not massive. He's not a man mountain of muscle.
But could he get bigger? Remember Lennox Lewis in the early days, the Bruno days? He was quite sort of lean and lanky before he really filled out.
And you will fill out as you get older, and actually, especially heavyweight. Just waiting too long to let that jab go is Joseph Parker at the minute. And Ruiz not really capitalising on it, but he's been able to get closer quicker than I thought, Ruiz, and that's where he should be letting his hands go. Little dip at the shoulders, Ruiz, knees, then come back with a long left hook, right hand over the top.
Oh, nice left to the body there. He's appearing to be the busier. I think that plenty of people who will have studied Parker or have watched him will feel that what Ruiz just did there, if he can stay in range once Parker lets his shots go, whether you're going to ride them or avoid them with head or body movement and then quickly come back with your own counters. I think people think that might be the way to beat him. Has Ruiz got the tools to do that?
I think he has, I think a little bit more movement from the shoulders from Ruiz. Just keep that head moving, make Parker come and look for the target. It's a nice little jab from Parker, but just a little bit more confidence, a little more weight behind the punch. And
Ruiz landed two jabs to the body before that, and he's landed at least 4 or 5 significant versions of that throughout this round.
That's a good body shot there though from Parker. Nice long whipping right hand.
Back comes Ruiz with those sharp counters. Good round. This is give and take, huh? For me, Ruiz is just doing more.
Yeah, and for me as well. I think he's the busier. A lot of Parker's punches in the middle part of that round weren't landing on the target, and Ruiz just showed that at the end of that round, making Parker fall a little bit short, firing back straight away, and that's what Ruiz is doing. He's, every time Parker makes a bit of a mistake, he's working straight away.
A little stab, something. Don't let him be set up. Now. I'd like some pain.
Put us out there. Put your hand out there. Make him come through. Don't just throw 2 punches and think he's not coming back. Hand him loose. Okay? Start getting your face. Get your face going when you move them back. Get them reaching. You don't see that right here. He's jabbing to the body. Come on, mate. Okay?
Advice coming in there from Kevin Batty, who's based in Vegas. And Joseph Parker spent most of his time out there training stateside before returning home for this big opportunity. He may well be slightly behind on the scorecard. It's been a good response in the second and third rounds from Andy Ruiz Jr, the 27-year-old. Let's not forget, he's a youngster too, and though he's got the disadvantages in height and reach by the slender margins, I think it's 2 inches in both of those departments, Barry. His hand speed and his tactics and his attitude are overcoming that early on.
I think so. This is not much. Again, you know, I wouldn't say they're both tentative, but they're both wary. I think Parker's boxing a little bit too wary at the minute for my liking. He has got those attributes and he should use them more. He has got a fast jab, but he just needs to step behind it a little more, a little bit more shoulder behind the jab. Let Ruiz feel that power. Now Ruiz won't want to come forward, and every time he comes forward, he gets a big left hand in his face. They're fine, that's fine. That double jab, little left hook, there's nothing on the shot.
And again, there you just saw in that little cameo, timing is everything. Andy Ruiz just sort of ducked down under the punches and came back with a long jab of his own.
But again, Ruiz just taking a little bit too long to let his hands go. He's in range. But Parker's allowing him to get close. So when you are close, you got to let those punches go.
I mean, it's amazing when you look at Ruiz, isn't it? I mean, you have to feel that he could lose even more weight. Maybe he wouldn't be a heavyweight if he carried on doing that.
He'd be fighting for the super middleweight championship of the world.
When you see them, when you see them now in the ring, when I saw them at the head-to-head at the weigh-in, they didn't look that much between them, but
he looks much bigger, doesn't he now, Parker?
I wonder if maybe stamina, energy, fitness, athleticism will come into it as this progresses into the second half.
I don't know, because I think Ruiz has a pretty good stamina. I know he doesn't look like he should have, but he does. And
who's an ahs from the crowd?
It's caught with the fingers there, I think, with that left hook. Slaps a little bit of that left hook, Ruiz. But he did nothing for 2 minutes 30 seconds. Andy Ruiz, good response there from Parker. Doesn't he? You got to hold Parker. When Parker's this close, you got to tie Ruiz up. You can't fight on the inside, Parker. You got to tie him up, tie him and turn him.
There's not been loads from the pair of them in this round.
Heads clashing there. It's been a Joseph Parker round for me, Ruiz. Except for that one little assault, Ruiz did nothing but try to stalk and walk Parker down, but didn't throw any punches. Didn't really get him in the positions where he could unload his hands, looking for that big combination. Was Ruiz then, and Parker still not committing with that jab, flicking it out, but it was enough to give him the round on my card.
Now we're going to start playing the game of points, okay? Scoring more points every round than them. I need that up and down, out. And when you're working your jab, you lean back. Give me a straight right hand, up and over. Mix it up a little bit. Okay?
Just showing that hand speed there. Again, Joseph Parker, that fast double jab, left hook over the top. Good little head movement there. That's when he says it's dangerous, Ruiz. Just when he dips his head there, and as soon as you fire, he fires back really quick, makes you miss. And when he's close to you, like that right hand over the top, you think you're in a safe position, you think you got your shoulder on his chest almost, And he makes room, makes space for that right hand over the top, goes Andy Ruiz. Got to keep him on the end of the jab.
Into the 4th round, he's back with that jab to the body at the start of it. This is an opportunity that has presented itself for both of these boxers. Remember, Parker was being touted as a likely mandatory for Anthony Joshua, wasn't he? And even as recently as the last few months, they were talking about maybe Hughie Fury and Andy Ruiz meeting up.
It's been a crazy and a confusing time in the heavyweight division. But listen, it's all sort of seems to have to settle down now. It's been one title, unless of course it ends up being a draw. It's been one title that'll be settled, so that'll be starting to take a little bit of shape now. But he's not boxing with the confidence that I expected at the moment, Joseph Parker.
Is he playing the long game, or is it just a case of Ruiz is putting him in this position?
Well, Ruiz is doing that. I don't think in the fight, it's a close fight, but Ruiz is right in front of him. I don't think Parker's willing to let his hands go, put enough weight and step behind the shots yet. The right hand there from Ruiz. I think it might be the hand speed of Ruiz that's troubling Parker just a little bit. Ruiz looks a little marked up around the eyes, which it might be a little bit worrying this early in the fight. And the jab's nice and fast from Parker. Which with the left hook there and almost had to pay the price there.
Well, Parker on the back of that win over Carlos Takam absolutely bullied Alexander Dimitrenko. In the end, he had him down in the 1st, the 2nd, and body shot finished it in the 3rd, where it looked like Dimitrenko just sat it out. He'd gone 11 with Pulev, hadn't he? So he's getting there bit by bit as he lands a big body shot.
Good left hook there from Parker. Ruiz just not doing enough again. I think Ruiz is getting himself into the perfect positions to attack. But like in the last round, he's walking Parker down, but not doing enough work. He's slipping punches, and because Parker's not Joseph Parker not committing with that jab, that gives Ruiz an opportunity to slip and counter. That's nice there, nice little feint with the jab there, and a left hook around the side there from Parker.
I suppose the one thing is you sort of half expect Parker maybe just to get better and better. Can Ruiz do the same? Can he match him?
That's good again. And just as a little feint with the shoulder there, and then whips that what would be a jab into a left hook. Well, I was saying before the fight that Ruiz had the faster feet. Well, not so far he hasn't. And I give Parker the last 2 rounds.
Looked like he took the first. There was that good start from Andy Ruiz, but it looks like Parker's settling down, finding his rhythm.
Very good round, except that you're allowing him to work the middle.
I wonder how each of the 2 respective corners will be feeling about the way this one's going at halfway.
Well, I think because of the last 2 rounds, Parker's corner will be happy going, you're getting your boxing together now, keep that movement, keep those fast hands going. I would still say step behind the jab a bit more. I'm going to keep saying the same thing. And Ruiz's corner, they've got to be saying, listen, you're getting yourself in the right positions, let your hands go early. You wait too long to get that big flurry of punches go. Just slip and counter. You're doing the right things. You're just not committing to the task at the end of it.
Into the 6th then. I mentioned the sort of pressure beforehand. I don't really think that affects Parker. He's been brought along well, and he's been involved in a couple of sort of big domestic contests. He fought Bowie Tupu, the former rugby player, last year. Cali Meehan as well, one-time world title challenger. And I think those are relatively big events down under. And this is, of course, the biggest of his career.
Well, all the tests and all the competitive fights, they help prepare you for this moment. But you never know. Once you see a lifetime ambition to be a champion of the world, and a heavyweight championship of the world always has that little bit extra on top of it. So you don't know how they're going to react until they get in there in this sort of magnitude.
Fast hands from Parker. Quite a few of those jabs were parried and didn't land, but he's starting to box confidently.
Well, he's the only one who's willing to let his hands go at the minute.
Mentioned Hughie Fury, of course. The winner of this one is mandated to defend against Fury, what, within 3 months?
Yeah, 120 days there. The winner has to fight Fury. So that, again, we used to say, you know, one Fury loses his title, another one picks it up, possibly.
Quite possibly, and good to see him over the physical ailments that were sort of slightly affecting his career, majorly actually. So it'd be good to see him back in action and getting an opportunity on Box Nation / BT into 2017.
Good body shot there earlier on there from Ruiz. Again, though, the movement, the change of direction of Parker, I think Ruiz is just struggling. Those fast feet that I'm talking about was not evident so far tonight.
There's always been a sort of boxing flavour in Parker's background. His dad's name's Dempsey, named after the big man Jack, and here we are 100+ years on, doing it all again.
See, Parker's not doing much, but he's doing enough.
Whoa, both landing in that exchange.
But Ruiz showing he can take a punch, he can be competitive in the pocket, and he just do more. You're getting closer, let your hands go. He's taking a step too much, Ruiz, and then that allows Parker just to move off. And Parker's getting a nice little bit of rhythm to his work in the last few rounds. And even for that little exchange where you maybe think Ruiz maybe landed a few better shots, there's another round you've got to give to Parker just for inactivity on Ruiz's part. And the worst thing in the world is you allow a fighter to get their rhythm together, get some confidence in their work. It means you really got to push hard to get them out of it.
Hopefully you can hear some of the advice from the corners. Get the jab, stick it in his face, says Kevin Barry. Doppelganger for Martin Rogan.
He really is. And he is. I don't think he's put enough weight behind the jab, but he is landing with it. That was that left hook to the body early in the round there from Ruiz. And here's where they both let their punches go. And I did say Ruiz, for me, had the better of that exchange. But no, the entirety of the round, it was Parker who was the busier. Ruiz, not that he can't, just not willing to let his hands go enough for me.
Neither really dominating, no one necessarily troubled yet. A bit of give and take. Certainly it's a fight that has just tiptoed one way and t'other.
Yeah, well, until someone lands with a punch where someone shows signs of wilting or physically being hurt, no one's going to really pull the trigger, I wouldn't have felt, yet. I would have thought Ruiz would have been a little bit more proactive, would have taken more risks, I think. Being the shorter guy, I think the onus was always on him having to come forward. I also thought Parker was going to be stronger with the jab and try and hold his ground a little bit more in the centre of the ring, which he hasn't done, but he hasn't have to have done in the last 3 rounds. For me, it's been the movement, which I didn't think was a good idea at the beginning of the fight, has been fine for him, dancing around and flicking the jab out.
He's always had that low hand style, hasn't he, Parker?
And that it's pros and cons. It's hard to defend against a jab coming from the waist, makes it look snappier and faster as well, but also it comes back to the waist, which means timed rightly can be a disaster for you.
Just landing jabs in that exchange. Is it going to be third time lucky in the modern era for Kiwi heavyweights? David Tua lost to Lennox Lewis, of course, back in 2000 when challenging for the WBC IBF belts, and Cali Meehan lost a split decision to Lamont Brewster some 12 years ago.
Good right hand there from Parker.
There's a cut, is there?
I think it might be more of a graze, I think, on the right eye of Ruiz.
Yes. It's just got a slight bump and bruising on the right cheekbone as well. Again, is it fair to say that Parker's just controlling things?
He is, and he's with the jab, and I just think it's a sign of Ruiz not wanting to do enough. I don't know whether he's trying to keep some energy in the tank, but I thought he would have started faster. I think he had to start fast and sort of grab the early rounds. So I think he done well in the second and the third, and the first was up for grabs. But the last 3 rounds for me, I just think he, except for that one little exchange, hasn't done enough.
Lovely shot there. Just kicked. That was a jab come hook come uppercut. He kicked that beautifully on the back
screw shot, we call it.
Yeah, I'll get it.
And again,
and fast hands letting them go from Ruiz in that burst too.
Just banging his chest there, Ruiz saying, come on.
You think he's frustrated?
He wants Parker in front of him. That's what he wants. But you've got to force him, and he's walking him down, but he's not putting his feet enough out. There's a cut. You were right there, a little on the right eye, a little cut there for Ruiz. You got to quicken his feet up, Ruiz, and get right on the chest of Parker, make him fight.
He landed a right hand, but it was right on the end of the punch. And moving into the second half of the fight, and Parker shows no signs of slowing down. Plenty of people, they imagine maybe Parker on points was the way this would rumble on. Some of the action from the previous round.
Just 2 inches too short, too low with that left hook, and not quite with the knuckle for Parker. There's a nice little jab there from Parker. Again, I still think it was a wrong for Parker. I think when they let their hands go here in exchanges, Ruiz always gets the better. And that's what you just don't think. Why just get close quick? You've got fast feet when you want to use them. Get close and gamble in that range, because you're having the better of those exchanges every time.
Yeah, and he lets more punches go. Just quite a few of them are landing sort of forearm inside of the glove, not quite connecting, but he's letting more leather go in those situations. They're just too few and far between for Ruiz.
When you get inside the longer reach of your opponent, you get in right in the middle there, which he can do, which he's shown he can do it, and let your hands go. You got to, from this range here now, you got to make a sharp dip, little slip with the shoulders, come back with the right hand, the long left hook, and then let his hands go when he's close. And just flurry every time. Make Parker stand his ground, make Parker fight with you. But he's walking too much down, too much on his heels is Ruiz. Allowing Parker to flick that jab out, and in a close round, just look the busier of the two.
Tony Weeks hasn't had to be too busy, he's not had much to do. He was in the corner. Oh, sorry, he was in the Nicholas Walters corner, wasn't he, the other week against Lomachenko, when quizzing the boxer, had he had enough? And before signalling that fight had come to an end. Here we are in the 8th of this one. Worth remembering, Andy Ruiz, he hasn't actually been 12 rounds, has he? He's been 10 rounds a couple of times. Is that going to be an issue, we wonder?
Well, you'd like to think not, because I think he needed to start fast. Not just a little bit too long with that right hand there, Ruiz. No, I think for me, on my card, he needed to be ahead. He's not ahead. I got Parker a couple of points ahead. I think Ruiz needed to be ahead at this point. Put the pressure on the home fighter, make him panic and make him have to fight stand his ground and have a little bit of a tear up.
Andy Ruiz actually used to do karate as a kid. He's been boxing from the age of 7, having found the martial art boring, in his words. Is this exciting enough for him?
He takes the shot, Parker, and Ruiz, I should say. Parker then goes a nice little combination there. Ruiz just firing back straight away. Oh, good right hand from Ruiz.
Yeah, he wants this, doesn't he? He wants them to wing away, let the hands go, throw the dice.
He has the better when they're in close, when they throw their punches. Why isn't he closing the gap quicker? Parker needs to get back a little bit more weight behind that jab again, get back on it.
And a bit more of that as well. That one rare moment where he's actually bobbed his head, weaved under a punch there, Ruiz. A bit of a response though from Andy Ruiz. Yeah. There's maybe just a danger of creeping away from him through the middle part of the fight.
Well, when he's winning, like I keep saying the same thing, but when he's winning, let his hands go, he looks like he can be competitive, he can compete, and maybe have the better in those exchanges.
A couple right on the bell when he was letting his hands go. Was that Ruiz round?
Yeah, I think so. I think, again, another quiet round where Parker was doing all the movements and jabbing without much success. But he looked like they're busier. But when they get close and allow their hands go, Ruiz looks the better. He has the better of those exchanges every time.
It's got to be pressure. When you get an exchange, it's in here, not at one top. It'll land and he's got to come down.
Abel Sanchez, that's exactly where they want it, where Barry was suggesting they need it. Up close and then let the hands go. And Abel Sanchez saying you don't always have to headhunt, punch to the chest if you have to, not even the body, just little distractions to create the openings elsewhere.
Nice little body shot in that exchange there from Parker. But every time they're close, he can get that. He makes space. I've said it from the wrong one. He always tries to make space for that right hand over the top. There's Andy Ruiz, and because he got the shorter arms and and when he swings the punches in a smaller range, he seems to hit the target first. But he got to quicken his feet up to close the gap, and he got to use up the body movement to slip the punches to come in.
And into round 9 then.
And Parker just needs to keep that jab all the time. He's shown good energy level so far, Parker. Even though he's been the one dancing around, I think he's dictating the pace for the most part, and just needs to be flicking that jab up all the time. Step behind it now and again, and that dummy jab with the long left hook has been working for Parker very well so far tonight.
To be honest, I think to a certain extent Barry Parker's boxing within himself here.
Yeah, but he's been allowed. This is what we thought to see from Ruiz. They're not going out like a lunatic, but more concentrated pressure. Every time Parker misses, he makes him pay for it. I thought that's what would happen.
Well, it's been a camp of sacrifice for Parker. He missed his sister's wedding, his mum's 50th anniversary, and he's taken himself away to prepare for this fight, this moment. And is he producing the performance that's going to be required to win it?
Just threw a beautiful fast jab though there with Parker. Whipping shot. I mean, exceptionally fast for the heavyweight. And again, in these sort of close rounds, without Ruiz having one of these exchanges we saw in the last round, you've got to give it to Parker every time, because he's the one who's flicking that jab out, hooking off the jab. And they're not big punches, but they're scoring punches. Not all of them, but most of them. You don't get punched for walking someone down if you're not doing any work.
Well, Andy Ruiz had first stab at making history ahead of Eric Molina, of course, later on tonight, as Parker unleashes a couple of fast body shots again, just finding the space to let those go. And you talked about pace and rhythm, Barry, but Parker looks like he could do this all night.
He did, yeah, but he just made a stupid mistake, Parker, by bringing that right foot forward with the right hand, and had to take a right hand left hook off Andy Ruiz. You got to turn from the waist, especially when you're a tall fella. You never give away that ground. You always got to turn from the waist with the right hand. Bring the shoulder into play.
What would you know about tall fellas?
Massive for the featherweight.
Here we are, a few divisions up, big men with a big opportunity for the big title.
Good body shot there again from Parker. Again, a round when not a lot of clean punch landing, but you've got to give it to Parker for his work ethic alone. You have to.
They look pretty happy. Big Samoan contingent in here tonight. An expectation of history being made, and you suspect on the scorecards that's where we're nudging towards. Are we getting to the territory now, perhaps, where Ruiz needs to win everything?
Yeah, I think so. I do. I think, you know, he's putting. He's the sort of tactic is the right idea, putting pressure on Parker. You know, but I just don't think he's letting his hands go enough. And he's having those exchanges where he's having the better, but he's letting Parker dominate the round with his jab for the most part.
Championship rounds.
But it's close enough for Ruiz still to win the fight, I think. But he needs a big push for me now.
And nobody's really dominated or controlled the fight, even although the rhythm of it seems to have swayed towards Parker pretty much from round, say, 4 onwards.
I just think Ruiz, nice little left screw shot there from Parker, I think, and a good right hand as well.
Suddenly a bit of meat and the crowd getting into it.
But fair to Ruiz, you got to give Ruiz credit. Oh, lovely left hook from Ruiz.
Stirred and spurred Ruiz into action with that combination and flurry. Parker, who's back behind the jab.
It's better for Andy Ruiz.
We've actually not seen much of the right hand, have we, from Parker?
No, we haven't actually, not at all. And I think a few times in the early rounds when he threw a lazy punch or missed, and Ruiz made him pay for it. Not with a heavy shot, but he got fast hands, made him pay quick. I think that's just made him look attentive to let that right hand go. And he's had success with the jab as well as Parker, so doesn't have to worry about too much. That's good from Ruiz. Bring that right foot forward. You know, at least he's letting his hands go from that range just before he gets too close.
Just over a minute to go then in the 10th. It's a good start to the round from Parker. A response from Ruiz.
Well, it looks good, but nothing landed there from Joseph Parker.
I think also from pretty much 4-5 onwards, Paddy, Ruiz has just been a bit methodical, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think, and again though, but I don't know why, because when they get close, he has the better every time.
And is that because Parker's not let him get close?
I just think he hasn't quickened his feet though. That's all, to get close enough. I don't know why he just not rushing him. I can't just walk on the punches, but a little feint, a little tip of the shoulders, and then come in. Oh, good ball. It looks like, because Parker's swinging, but all the punches there were landing from Ruiz.
Yeah, well, there was a 1-2 from Parker, and then there was 3 or 4 unanswered quicker punches from Ruiz. This might be a tight round.
No, it's a round for Ruiz for me, this, I think. It's a much better round.
Two more to go. How have you got it, folks, on the cards? No one really dominating, no one running away with it. You just feel maybe Parker's done more. That middle section of the fight, it just always seems to have been the edge for Parker.
I feel it's a close fight. I think it'll be up for grabs. I think I got Parker 2 points up now going into the last 2 rounds. And that's because Ruiz has let him move around too much for me, let him throw too many jabs and hasn't closed the gap quick enough. When he does, he looks the better. And I think in this round he closed the gap just a little bit better, a little bit quicker at times, let his hands go a little bit more, just was a little bit busier. And that's what he needs to do in the last 2 rounds now, Ruiz. He needs to be busy, fight on an outcome shield, let those hands go. Make Parker fire with you.
Listen, he looked like he probably took the second and the third. Did he, Ruiz?
Yeah,
and if he had that one as well, if he takes the last 2, we've got a really interesting fight on our hands score-wise.
That first round was up for grabs as well, you know, nothing really happened.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, lovely body shots there from Ruiz, who's into the 11th round for the first time in his life.
Again, they're both swinging, they're both close, they're both swinging, and Ruiz is having the better. Because Parker needs space to let his punches go. He needs that distance for that long right hand.
Again, to the body from Ruiz. Maybe a bit late to slow Parker down, but to score and be effective, that's a different matter. Crowd getting into it. They've cheered during those big flurries. Otherwise, they've been pretty silent.
Yeah.
One or two ladies in the dinner tables were holding their head in their hands when Parker was under the brief moments of pressure.
Oh, that sort of left hook to the body there from Parker. Well, they're expecting Parker to blow through everyone, that's why.
A bit of shoulder there.
They're expecting Parker to just be blasting through everybody, and obviously the guys pushing back. Oh, lovely fast hands there. Right hand over the top as well.
Yeah.
Joseph Parker.
They got into that, and he didn't buckle, but he just slightly dipped there, Ruiz, under the weight of that shot.
Good body shot back to there from Ruiz with the left hook.
Well, I thought he had a better start to this round, Ruiz.
Most definitely.
And our exuberant MC.
So be careful of that forearm there, Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, he's trying to make it uncomfortable.
He just tries to, well, he always tries to push Parker back just enough space so he can whip that right hand over the top.
Parker's not quite been able to keep him off. He's not been able to keep that range that has served him so well through the middle of the fight. House.
There you go. Good from Ruiz.
Yeah,
that dipping and jumping in with the left hook.
He's closing the gap, Barry, maybe literally.
Yes, I think so.
And on the cards.
Yeah, I think so.
How's Hughie Fury looking at this and thinking?
Well, you fancy that he can outbox Ruiz, but then you would by watching him. I don't think it's harder than what it looks. And I think for boxing skills, he won't be worried about Parker. Obviously, with Parker, it would be about the power. Listen, all these young. When you're young and undefeated, you think you can beat everybody. And why wouldn't you?
Good left hand there from Parker in that exchange. Here's Ruiz closing the gap on the scorecards.
Set up the second one. Don't be jumping in so much. Set up long right hand and a long hook. Don't jump in so much. Don't jump in so much. Long right hand with a long hook.